I've never said this out loud before today. Not to a room of this size. So no pressure, right? Have you ever had that feeling? There's more than this. More than your inbox. More than your to-do list. More than that next Zoom call. More than that in-person meeting that you finally have to wear pants to. When's that joke going to get old? Never. Thank you. That feeling that you are meant for something truly unforgettable. But right now, you feel like page 19 of the Google search results. Never to be found. Something bigger than your job description. A burning desire for impact, for purpose, for a life that echoes with significance. In a world where AI makes everyone sound the same, that something more is each and every one of you. And that's what I'm here to help you find. Right there. Oh. I felt it for a long time, maybe too long. And you probably felt it too. Staring at your screen after a meeting, lying awake at 2 a.m, wondering, is this really it? Am I truly building what I've meant to do? That was me, sitting in a car in the parking lot of Trader Joe's. And you know that was not a true story because it takes forever to find a parking spot. It actually makes me mad, but I love Trader Joe's. I was wondering after I parked, was all I producing now sadness? Because here's the thing, my job wasn't terrible. For 20 years, I produced hit television shows watched by millions. Stories that changed lives, rebuilt families, inspired real change. I'll never forget a mother on the set of Intervention saying, "Thank you for giving us our family back." But one day, in the quiet moments between the meetings, between the calls, I realized something that shook me deeply. I had spent 2 decades amplifying other people's stories, but I had never once dared to share my own. Because the truth is, in the world I came from in corporate television, you weren't allowed to have a brand. Your brand was the company, your identity, your Outlook calendar. You didn't have your own voice. Ever try to post something personal on social media and immediately get a call by your HR department? Hey, Brad, maybe don't share that you're on vacation. We wouldn't want people thinking you're not working. Yeah, that happened. But the truth is, it wasn't funny. It was suffocating. So there I was, mid-40s, comfortable life, stable paycheck, dream job, 2 daughters, wife, family counting on me. And this persistent whisper, "Brad, there's more than just good enough. When do you get to step out of the shadows?" And that terrified me. I'd be leaving security. I'd be leaving stability. The only identity I'd ever known. And for what? A whisper? And maybe you're feeling this too, wondering, am I good enough to step out? What's my superpower? Pickles. Because I finally learned how to relish who I am, even if it's a little sour sometimes. If you can see, this says, I love pickles. That was my daughter gift on Father's Day. I promise you are not alone. The pickles part, maybe, but you're not alone. If you've asked me what made me special, my honest answer, I don't know. Maybe that's where you are too. You're showing up, you're doing your work, but you're never slowing down enough to really ask, what makes me different? AI can sound like anyone, but it will never sound someone who's lived your life. So soon after I left, a friend asked me a question that cracked everything open for me. Sometimes you can't see your own brilliance until someone reflects it back. And no, it wasn't deep or poetic. It was annoyingly simple. And I'm going to tell you in a second. So if you've ever thought people just don't get what I do, some days I'm still there. I'm not here today because I've mastered everything. I'm here because I'm figuring it out, just like you. I'm in it. I'm in it with all of you. So by the end of this talk, you're going to know what makes you unforgettable. You'll leave with your first step toward finding your vibe. Your voice, your message, and the energy that makes people remember you. So quick show of hands. How many of you have put yourself out there and immediately wanted to delete it? Exactly. Been there way too many times. Because here's the simple truth. If you can't say what makes you different, neither can AI.
I got this feeling.
Come on.
My bones. It goes electric, baby.
If this song does not make you feel something,
Off from my home. We're flying.
neither can AI.
Feeling when we in our zone.
All right.
That sunshine in my pocket. Got that good soul in my feet. That hot blood in my body. When it drops.
Oh, I'm a dancer.
Take my eyes off of it. Open.
All right, thank you. All right, just need to get a little. If there was no energy this morning before, that would have hit even more so. But all right. All right, so let's first talk about what happened after I left the stage lights and stepped into the unknown. So I left the corporate world just over a year ago, which sounds brave, right? Until you realize my most consistent client was spam. Well, so I got past the spam and I put my grand message out on LinkedIn. I took the big leap, right? We all do that. And you get message after message. Good job. Amazing. Congrats. Cut to 3 weeks later. No text. No email. Except from Bath and Body Works, who apparently thinks that I need 14 candles and a loofah. Joke is, I don't take showers. And that happens every day, not the shower part. And listen, like I said, I didn't leave in my 20s. I left in my 40s with a mortgage, 2 daughters, a wife who believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. I had a Google Doc of ideas. I mean, really brilliant ideas that were brilliant at 2 a.m. And then when you woke up and took that first cup of coffee, they weren't brilliant ideas. They weren't even ideas. My calendar, it went from color-coded chaos to blank space. And when your whole identity is built on your title, what happens when it's removed? So I was rebuilding who I thought I was. At first, I told myself this was freedom. But I was just home in gym shorts, arguing with the thermostat. In television, I had the seat at the table. I was shaping stories millions watched. I was respected. I was known. But once I left, silence. If you've ever left a title behind, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Did I make a colossal mistake? While AI was getting smarter by the second, I was falling apart. I wasn't thriving. I was unraveling. I couldn't sleep. Benadryl became my bedtime strategy. That pink pill of entrepreneurial ambition. And I wish I was kidding. That was my bedtime strategy. It still is. I couldn't sleep not because of excitement, but because of anxiety. And here's something that I've never spoken about before. We didn't tell our daughters. We wanted to wait. We wanted to protect them, to figure it out before they started asking the questions we didn't have answers to. I did not want them to see me in this stage, confused. Because when you lead a family, how can you lead a family when you can't even lead yourself? But the truth is, I was more than confused. I was scared. Scared that I made the biggest mistake of my life, trading certainty for a whisper. But eventually we told them. And to be clear, we told them, which mostly meant we told them Dad had no clue what he was doing. But he was going to try. Good for you, Dad. And that Mom was going back to work. After 15 years of being home. She was the one stepping up. And I was stepping into the unknown. Now look, super proud of my wife. She's a brilliantly talented interior designer. But let's be real. We both knew that someone needed to stabilize the ship. And it wasn't going to be this guy having an existential crisis. It stung. I became the full-time caregiver, trying to launch a multi-million-dollar business from the carpool lane. So do you ever get scared of your own potential? What if I'm meant for more? But actually going for it, that's the scary part. That was me. That's me today. The fear of the unknown. What did I leave? And that probably keeps some of us stuck, kept me stuck. Scrolling feels like a movement sometimes. It's what really prevents people from showing up, from owning your story, from finding your vibe, your voice, your identity, your brand, your energy. And it wasn't until I hit that wall myself, lost, tired, invisible, that I realized I need something simple. I need a clear system, not just for me, but for anyone who's felt exactly how I'm feeling. Now, I still work in television, but it's different now. I get to choose the projects. I get to choose who I work with. And I've got something exciting happening soon. But I'm going to save that for off the stage because it hasn't yet happened yet. Come talk to me after. But I want to say something important right now. And this might hit home for a lot of you. I couldn't see what makes me special. I couldn't see what makes me different. But a lot of you have struggled with that question. You're not alone, especially in this room. You are not alone. Sometimes it takes someone else, someone you're going to meet in a few minutes, to help me see it. Because sometimes the thing that makes you unforgettable is the one thing that you're not able to see yourself. It took someone else holding up a mirror and say, that right there, that's it. To be honest, I didn't believe it. I still sometimes don't believe it. Until one day, over a sandwich, someone did. If you can't see your superpower yet, that doesn't mean you don't have one. It might just mean you've never had someone look you in the eyes and say, I see it. So I started posting online on YouTube, not because I had it all figured out, but because I didn't. I think I'm way behind on these. Slides are slides. My early videos, they were brutal, but I kept going. Because here's the truth. Consistency doesn't always make you great. It makes you real. And that was my pivot. Not some big moment with lights, music, confetti, just me showing up, incredibly awkward, in my house, unpolished, unsure, but still showing up. And that's when things started to shift. Because building your vibe isn't about being perfect. It's about being in motion, leaning into that discomfort, choosing to be visible when hiding could be so much easier. Choosing to hit post instead of hitting the fridge. That's what I do. So that's how the Vibe framework was born. Not in a boardroom, not in the trenches, just one imperfect post at a time. Then one day this happened. I was in the kitchen, going back to the kitchen, making a sandwich, because that's what stay-at-home caregivers do. Nothing dramatic. It was turkey. Honey mustard, I know. Honey mustard, not traditional. Lettuce, cheese, probably way too much cheese because I love cheese. And I'm an equal opportunity cheese lover. And my daughter walks in. She's 14. Yeah, 14. Prime dad, do not embarrass me age. And she goes, hey, Dad. Saw your YouTube videos. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Because I wasn't thinking, wow, she's proud of me. No. I destroyed your entire life. Your entire 8th grade social status out the window. Just going to have to transfer schools. Just going to have to be an exchange student in Nebraska. This is the true story, too. Luckily, she's not in Nebraska. Not that I have anything against Nebraska, but nobody really has anything to say about Nebraska. She looks me in the eyes and says, I love your videos. I'm learning a lot. Keep it up. And she left with the turkey sandwich. That broke me. It broke me in the very best way. Because in that moment, she saw me. Not the producer, not the executive. Just Brad. Just Dad. And that one sentence She gave me what I couldn't see myself. Permission. Even when I was trying to prove that I was worth believing in. And I want to give yourself that same permission right now. Just a moment. Do this with me. Take whatever hand, place over your heart. Do you feel that beat? No one else has your unique rhythm. That's your own vibe. And it's okay to give you permission to let that heartbeat shine. Thank you. That's when it hit me. I had spent 2 decades helping other people become unforgettable. But I forgot to believe I could be unforgettable too. I forgot I mattered. I had a story. And I forgot. I was never meant to blend in. I'd spent 20 years producing for others, but never once produced myself. I told everyone else's story, used everyone else's voice. I made stars out of people who had no clue what they had. But me? I forgot I had something to say too. And then when I finally realized, I kept waiting. Then I finally realized I kept waiting to be ready before I showed up. But readiness never came. Only regret. Because I was always meant to be the $2 bill. I thought clarity came before commitment. But the truth, clarity only shows up after you do. And I have a feeling I'm not the only one who needs to hear this today. So let's own this together right now. I want you to repeat after me. My voice matters. My story is unforgettable. That's right. And if you don't say it, neither can AI. Here's the part no one talks about. You don't need a massive platform. You don't need a viral moment. You don't need to get discovered. And if you're still waiting to go viral, I bet you're still waiting. You need to decide. You need to decide to show up before you're ready, before it's perfect, before someone else tells you you're allowed. Because if you wait for permission, you'll always be late. Because the person you've been waiting for, it's you. So let me ask you this. What if your voice isn't too small? What if it's exactly someone else needs to hear right now? Not later, not once it's perfect. But today, what if your job isn't to fit in, but to finally stand out? To stop being the background story and start being the main character. Because if you don't cast yourself, that role's going to stay empty. I knew I had something to say, but I couldn't figure out how to say it. I didn't know what made me different. And because I couldn't say it, I couldn't build anything around it. And that's what the speech is about, right? Because if you don't know or can't say what makes you different, neither can your audience, neither can your customers, and neither can AI. But when you can, you become unforgettable. You become the $2 bill. You're rare, you're valuable, you're a little weird, but the kind people remember. So let's find it together. We're going to find your vibe. Now, don't worry, this is not the part where you get homework and I walk you through a 5-year journey. No. This is as simple as can be. Because I've learned the one thing over this past year. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need a perfect brand. You just need a starting point. You need a spark, a vibe. Because the moment you know your vibe, you stop sounding like everyone else. And you start sounding like yourself. You stop hoping people get you and start making them feel you. And before we find your vibe, Let me tell you about the moment someone else saw my vibe before I could. There I was, Post-its everywhere, ideas scribbled on whiteboards, identity crisis on point. I had a $2 billion resume, but couldn't write a single sentence about who I was without that corporate title. Just me and a whole lot of doubt. And then a call. Call came in. Here's the twist. He's in this room today. It's your co-host. Your AI for Business Jedi. And one of the biggest givers, if not the biggest giver I know, Francis Ablola. And I mean Jedi in the truest sense. He's calm, he's wise, and he's quietly changing the whole galaxy. Not far, far away, but right here in this room. So it's about a week or so after I left television, not metaphorically, literally, I just left. No roadmap, no title, just me and a whole lot of what now? And he says, Brad, by the way, I'm a creator and a storyteller, so I sometimes tell the story I want to hear and I want to tell versus the facts. Unscripted is just a word, does not mean you're entirely unscripted. So Francis may have a different version of the story than I do. I guarantee you my story, not better. It's not better. It's me, and it's what I wanted to hear. So he says, Brad, are you leaving TV for good? And I paused. I didn't know. So I just said, I don't think so. So that came out like a question, which is a problem when you've upended your entire life. And then he goes, good, because you've got a multi-million-dollar business in your background. I know. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it either. I thought, is he talking about a show idea? Is he talking about a course? A consulting gig? My handsome looks? OnlyFans? I mean, so my Instagram is Brad needs abs, not Brad has abs. And by the way, that is true. Not that I have abs. No, it needs abs. But that sentence stopped me, not because of the number he threw out, but because he saw something in me that I didn't see myself. So I start rambling like Brad, full download. I talk about all the things that I've been involved with. I'm trying to figure this out, dumping everything on him. Francis, he leans back. It was a phone call, so I'm assuming he was leaning back. In his calm Jedi voice, Brad, sounds like you help people feel seen. Now, at the time, I clearly didn't get it, but something about it stuck. It lodged in the back of my brain. That one line, help people feel seen. It started echoing louder and louder. And I wish I could tell you I ran with it immediately. I was still fumbling forward. Until a few months ago. I walk into a mastermind, best in the business, AI experts, real estate, disruptors, visionaries with frameworks and funnels and all the things that I never had to do. And suddenly, all those scribbles on the whiteboard, all those late nights, definitely not that Google sheet. It all made sense. Those awkward social posts, that was part of the climb. All the moments I spent making everyone else unforgettable, all the things Francis had seen in me, I was finally seeing in myself. The vibe isn't what you do. It's not your job title. It's not your resume. It's not your follower count. It's how you show up. How you make people feel. how you make the ordinary unforgettable. So today, we're going to stop hiding the gold. We're going to stop squeezing our story into someone else's highlight reel. And we unleash the brand only you can build. No more, maybe. Maybe someday. Maybe for a following. Maybe for a fancy funnel. No more apologizing for your magic. This is the moment we're going to draw the line in the sand, right here, right now. I'm done blending in. I'm done being the best secret in my business. I'm ready to become the $2 bill in my industry. That moment with Francis, that wasn't about strategy. It was about being seen. It was someone else holding up the mirror and saying, Brad, you got something rare. And in that moment, my petals started to unfold. I didn't need new skills. I didn't need a viral video. I needed a new frame, a new way to name what I had been doing for my entire life. And that's what I want to give you right now. It's not a title, it's not a tactic, but the first few petals of your bouquet. The vibe. And before I break it down, I want you to feel it for yourself. So if you can, grab your phone, a napkin, the back of someone else's back if you have a Sharpie, because that would be really funny. I'm going to ask you 4 quick questions right now. Do not think, just do. The first thing that comes to your mind. V, voice. What's the one word that describes how you naturally show up when you're most yourself? The one word. I, identity. What's the one experience that shaped the way you see everything? Belief. What's something you believe so deeply, even if it goes against the grain? E, emotional magnetism. How do people feel after spending time with you? Whatever you just wrote or writing, that's the gold. That's the ingredients. AI couldn't tell you that. But AI can amplify that. But only after you own that. Now, let's do something pretty bold right now. You got a person to your right, to your left, pick one. In 20 seconds, share one thing you just wrote down. Go. I promise. Saying out loud, it's going to make it real. Ten seconds. All right, stop. And stop. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. Thank you. That's what the kindergarten teacher at my daughter's school would do, and it worked. Clearly not for adults. We're going to have time to talk all day. So this is a rhetorical question. How'd that feel? Felt real, right? Because that's the magic. Clarity doesn't come from just writing. Clarity comes from sharing. You just wrote down something that most people never stop long enough even to think about. Because what makes you different It's always been there. It's always been in you. You've been just trying to get it right. And you forgot to slow down and name that. And listen, I get it. My brand was my resume, all my shows, all the numbers, the pitch deck. But what actually made me unforgettable wasn't what I had done. It was how I made people feel. It was the truth that I couldn't stop running from. And today, maybe for the first time, you saw a little glimpse of that in yourself. And maybe, just maybe, you actually believed it. So now the question is not, do I have a brand? You do. Do I have what it takes? You already did. The question is now, can you name it? Can you claim it? And can you build it? So now let's take what you just scribbled down and told somebody, and let's quickly build something unforgettable. We're going to break down your vibe. Not so that you sound polished, but so it's a bit more you. So anywhere you show up, online, on stage, in the mirror, to your 14-year-old daughter, you own this. So let's go through this again. Voice. Let's start with the voice. The part of you that most people have probably never heard. This is not your resume. This is not your pitch, but the you that shows up when the script disappears. Are you curious? Are you calm? Chaos with a conscious. Whatever it is, that's your fingerprint. That's only you. And most people, maybe even you, we have spent years silencing it, dialing it down to sound more professional, more palatable, and more LinkedIn friendly. And that's exactly why no one's listening to you. Because you don't have a brand voice. They want your voice. The one they've never heard before, but recognize the second they feel it. So from this moment forward, stop trying to sound right. Start sounding real. Identity. Now let's talk about this. Not the kind of thing that you cram into a bio, the kind people feel, you feel in your bones. Think about this. If I handed the mic to your best friend right now, and I asked them, tell me what they did and why it matters, would they crush it? Or would they fumble? Is that the AI and more often than not, they're probably going to fumble. And if they're confused, it's not your fault. That's an opportunity. See, the problem isn't identity. It's clarity. It's language. When you name it, you claim it. And when you claim it, they're going to remember it. You're not just a coach. You're not just a creative. You're not just another investor in a crowded room. You're the one who makes noise feel like music again. The one who makes people feel like they're truly unforgettable. The one who shows up so fully as you, the people remember who you are. You are the $2 bill in whatever space you're in. And the moment you believe that, everyone else does. Belief. The most magnetic brands in the world, they're not built on tactics. They're built on truth. If you're showing up to inform, but not transform, you're going to be forgettable. Your audience isn't looking for information. They can get that from AI in seconds. They're looking for conviction. They're looking for the belief so strong that it pulls them forward. What's the hill that you're willing to die on for your clients, for your friends, for your family, for your community? That's your belief. And when you build that brand on belief, it doesn't just attract customers. It starts a movement. And last, E, emotional magnetism. That's the secret sauce. This is the part AI cannot touch. It can't fake, it can't replace. Think about the brands you love, the leaders you follow, the people you can't forget. You remember the feeling they gave you, not just the funnel they built. When you show up as your authentic self with your unique voice, your clear identity, and your bold belief, you create an emotional connection that AI can't replicate. That's your vibe. That's what makes you unforgettable. The moment you own your vibe, here's what's going to shift fast. Your LinkedIn bio starts pulling in the right people. Your next sales call feels like a connection, not a pitch. Your social posts, suddenly they don't just land, they spark. Your messaging, you stop second guessing because you're speaking straight from your core. And most of all, people don't remember what you said, they remember how you make them feel. Oops. Now, you may be thinking, Brad, this is an AI conference. How does Vibe fit into all this? Good question. Well, AI can't create what makes you unforgettable, but it can amplify it if you own it. If you can't feel, it can't feel your lived experience. It can't believe what you believe. It can't make people feel what you do. And if you're not clear on what makes you different, what exactly are you asking AI to amplify? Are you asking it for more noise, more sameness, more soulless content? But when you know your vibe, when you can say what makes you different, then AI becomes your superpower. It's your superpower sidekick. It amplifies your voice. It scales your story. It turns your uniqueness into momentum, a movement. And that's the future. Not AI instead of you, AI because of you. Because you had the courage to define what makes you unforgettable. So if you felt something today, that spark, that whisper, saying there's more for you, how do you keep going? How do you further find it? How do you name your vibe? That one thing that makes you unforgettable? Well, it's time to stop whispering. It's time to roar. So I created something only because I'm a proud member of the A3 community. I know nothing about anything technical. And I created a custom GPT. Is it beautiful? Is it amazing? Is it wonderful? It's on its way. It's called the Vibe Finder GPT. Look at that. Why is there 2 QR codes? I don't know. Do the one in the middle. I've also, and I apologize, all the funnels and leads and all these things, I also learned from this community. Only being an A3. I've never created a business before, never owned a business. And hopefully what's going to happen is that QR code is going to lead to a landing page, which is going to lead to an email, which is going to lead to an email back to you, which is going to give you the URL code towards that GPT. If it works, holy cow, oh my God. I am telling you, the only reason why it works is because I'm in this community. I did not look anywhere else. I only use the resources here. I swear. If you saw me in the back, you saw my windows open. This is going to be your personal assistant for clarity, This is a, hold on one sec. I'm going to take a moment. All right. And if it's not working, I can help you. This is going to be your personal assistant it's a prompt-powered GPS to help you discover and express your real brand voice. Once you can say what makes you different, you'll never have to compete the same way again. It's the first step to become the $2 bill in a world of ones. And that's just the beginning, because transformation is great, or inspiration is great, but transformation's better. So I'm in the process of creating one exciting thing, and I've got another thing. So here's an exclusive preview for this room only, and hope Francis and Brian, the team, are okay with me saying this. This is a little bit of a tease. It's called the $2 Bill Hollywood Brand Accelerator. This is not like a gimmick or anything. We don't have it yet. By the way, that UR code, sorry, I should have said this. It goes exactly to the same place. I can only do one funnel, okay? There's no multiple funnels yet, all right? That one place. So I just do it because if you missed it before, you'll get it now. So I'm partnering with the Real Advisors team to launch this. This isn't a workshop. It's a full-blown production experience. I'm bringing all my Hollywood friends in, where storytelling meets strategy, where Hollywood meets AI. You're going to learn from minds that have produced billion-dollar franchises. And you're going to apply that to your brand, amplified by AI. This is for entrepreneurs. This is for real estate professionals, for creators who know they're meant for something more. But where do I start? Totally fair, because I've learned something from 20 years in television. Big breakthroughs often come from small conversations. So again, same QR code. So don't scan it. I've got this $2 bill brand audit. It's a 45-minute session where I do what I've always done. Take raw ideas and then shape them into hits. You bring the story, I bring Hollywood. It's kind of fun to say that. So here's your next move. Same QR code. Scan that, get the GPT, or talk to me after. Because here's what I know. You didn't come to this conference to stay invisible. You came to be unforgettable. You've always had what it takes. Now, you have the language to say it. So let me ask you a question. Are you ready to be the $2 bill that people keep, remember, and can't stop talking about? Yes. So you heard my story. You walked the path with me. But this moment, this final moment, it's not about me. It's about you. This is your wake-up call. It's a reminder of the immense untapped power that's been inside you all along. So let's do something real right now. Take 10 seconds, close your eyes if you need to. What is the one thing that makes you undeniably you? Not your title, not your resume, not your niche, just your vibe. It's a story, something someone said, a feeling. Well, that's your spark. That's the signal. That's your starting line. Because when you know your vibe, you stop hoping to be understood. And you start making people feel something they're never going to forget. AI becomes your amplifier, not your identity. Social becomes your stage, not your stressor. And brand becomes personal. Because now you're not performing. You're revealing. That's the start of your $2 bill. So this chair, it's not just mine. It's yours too. It's the chair of waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to be chosen. Waiting for the right time. Here's the truth. That chair is a goddamn liar. Because you are never meant to sit You are meant to stand. So right here, right now, promise yourself this: I'm done waiting. I'm done blending in. Today's the day I'm going to become unforgettable. For too long, we've been told, fit in, play it safe, stay in your lane. But the world doesn't need more lanes. It needs trailblazers. It doesn't need more bricks. It needs architects. It needs visionaries. It needs you in your most unapologetic, unforgettable form. So if you're ready to stop shrinking, to stop apologizing for your magic, and to finally step into the spotlight that's always meant to be yours, I want you to do something right now. If you can, stand up. Look around you. Look at the power in this room. This isn't just an audience. This is a movement. This is a movement of creators, of innovators, of $2 bills who refuse to be overlooked. You've walked the path today from grabbing attention on authenticity. Keep standing. I know. Name your story. You've named your belief, your identity. You finally unleashed your vibe, the one thing AI can't replicate. You do not need to become someone else. You need to become more of yourself. So let's anchor this together. If you can't say what makes you different, all right, louder. If you can't say what makes you different, awesome. So I've got $2 bills. They're not souvenirs, sorry. But every time you see one, and I'm going to pass these out over the next 2 days, remember, you are meant to be the $2 bill. So I need you to walk out of this room, or sit down because we have a next speaker coming that I'm way over time on. I want you to be unforgettable. I want you to be unignorable, undeniable. So say it with me, and you can sit down. One more time. If you can't say, I had all these slides. I'm going to post. If you can't say what makes you different, this is your moment. Now take it. Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of the AI for Business podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit subscribe and pass it along to a friend or colleague. We appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you in the next one.